So yesterday I went to go and see the BFG, and I was absolutely blown away. Steven Spielberg has done such an incredible job of capturing Roald Dahl's magical and incredibly imaginative world on camera. It was an absolute spectacle to behold, and it was gorgeously shot. The cinematography was insane. The colours that were used and the way that they did the sort of jumping into the lake to the dream tree was spot on. The cast on top of that was the most incredible cast. Ruby Barnhill, who played Sophie, I think was the perfect casting for that part. I'm in love with her. She's such an incredibly talented 11-year-old. I think she's 11, she might be older, but still. So I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about my favourite bits of that film and why I loved it so much. So the first thing I'm going to talk about that I loved about this film was Mark Rylance's use of voice, and his portrayal of the BFG's sort of broken, swashbuckling English that's amazing and mixed up and wonderful. He really did a great job of conveying the sort of broken, twisted English that the BFG speaks in the novel. My parents definitely read me the BFG with that kind of, you know, those voices, the different kind of speech, and seeing that brought to life in human form, because I saw the cartoon version of the BFG when I was much younger, and that was done really well as well, but seeing it sort of take form in real life, if you like, and not in animation was amazing. The second thing I really appreciated about the BFG was the sheer talent of the main actress, Ruby. She carried the show away. She was just amazing. Her sass, her comedic timing, how she must have really worked particularly to sort of ignore all of the CGI around her as well, so she would have been probably in a room of a lot of green screen when she was filming the majority of the BFG, and yet she still made it so believable and so incredibly captivating. Often with child actors you'll have moments on the screen where they kind of drop out of character a little bit, or they sort of they make something a little too melodramatic, but it just didn't happen in this film. It really just didn't, and she did an incredible job, and makes me feel very inadequate. The next thing I really loved about the BFG was the way that they visualised the dreams, and the good dreams you can sort of, you know, that's fine, they're nice and glowy and all different colours. I loved the colours in the film, but particularly the nightmares were fabulous sort of creations, and the sort of clamp that they put them in to manipulate them, and I really enjoyed the visualisation of that. Also, the shadow representation of the dream when they're peering into the boy's home was really nice. I think a big thing with this film was the amazing comedic timing and the small, very sort of comic injections that were throughout the film. Even if there was something kind of serious going on, there was still that Roald Dahl spark of, you know, magical, funny ridiculousness that just sort of was injected in by Spielberg. And the final sort of section of the film that happens in Buckingham Palace when the BFG and Sophie go to meet the Queen and ask her help. They just did it so well, and I couldn't see a single person in the cinema that wasn't laughing, or it's very endearing to watch and to experience, and overall this whole film was just such a sweet and lovely and wonderfully composed creation that really pays homage to Roald Dahl's incredible storytelling skills. There's this wonderful bit at the end where there's this touching speech where Sophie's still connecting with the BFG across worlds, and it really, really got to me and touched me. There was also lots of added elements to the story that weren't in there, that weren't in the novel. That often when you have things changed about a novel that you know and you love, you sort of feel a sense of emptiness, sort of something's been taken away from that. But honestly, the changes that were made, the very minute additions and changes, none of the original story was changed, things were just added slightly for cinematic quality. They only added to the spectacle and to the wonderful whole of the film. If you haven't been to see the BFG yet, please go now, buy tickets and just get yourself to the cinema. It's the most incredibly sweet and wonderful and fulfilling film to watch. It'll make you feel warm and fuzzy and your heart will turn to mush. It's the sweetest and loveliest film I think that's come out this year, and possibly my favourite film that's been released this year. Let me know down in the comments if you've already seen the film and what you thought of it. Let me know. I would love to hear. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.